So I had the idea of a bowling alley back in 2012. Now I kind of grew up with bowling. My grandmother bowled, my mother bowled the old-fashioned way. I mean, I learned how to like keep score with the eraserless pencils and the metal plastic desks and all that. But I was on a business trip and saw a unique bowling center outside of Chicago. It had bowling, bocce, bar, good food. And I thought, this is different. It's not like a normal bowling alley. It's not even a boutique bowling alley. It was just a really nice setup. And I thought that would go really well in Johnson City or somewhere like that has a college town. And Martin, I shared that with Martin, and he would mock up buildings, even some downtown buildings. Like we have some Photoshop of buildings downtown with Zimmerman lanes on it and Martin's Gourmet popcorn on it. And so it was a dream, and we had cartoons of it, right? But then we kind of got serious about it. But we couldn't fit 10-pin bowling downtown. There's just not buildings that have that size. And we did some research on mini bowling, I guess, and we found duck pin bowling. And it would just seem like a perfect product for downtown. And now I'm more convinced than ever that it's actually a better product in some regards for downtown than 10-pin bowling. I was daydreaming in my car one day and I called Martin up. He was downtown and I said,
I was coming out of Burger Bar and standing on the corner right across the street. And Chip said, what about that building on the corner of 7th Street and State Street? And I had my phone, I said, I'm staring right at it. And I was just noticing it was for sale. Then
I said, give me the number. We called the number. A couple of months later, we bought the building. It's actually, I don't know why we didn't think of it before. It's a perfect location, perfect size. We were able to do everything we needed to do in this building and more, honestly.
It's been nothing for such a long time that people didn't even realize this building existed until we started putting something in it. And so it really was exciting to see them all start looking through the windows as soon as we were able to start building stuff. We just kept it open and they just would stare through there, and it was really neat seeing everyone's faces. I think in the 40s, it was Uncle Sam's pawn shop, and it burned down in the late 40s, I believe. When they tore that down, People's Drugs was across the street where Benjamin Walls is, and they moved over here and built over here and took over for a long time. And then it's been several things since then. I was born and raised in Bristol. My family owns a company called Strong Robinette Machine. My grandfather opened up a bag company called Strong Robinette Bag Company back a long, long time ago. And my uncles and my father took over and made the machine part of it. And so for almost 33 years, I've been doing that. And so that's been pretty much my life for a long, long time.
I grew up on a dairy farm, which made me decide to go into engineering. So I'm a mechanical engineer by education and have been an engineer since 1990. And I actually run maintenance at an establishment in Kingsport and the facilities, which includes a steam plant, wastewater plant, all that stuff. So opening a bowling alley is just a small smidgen of a facility to me versus my day job. But it has had its own challenges. So we bought the building in 2019. That was its own little journey with banks and stuff, but we were able to secure the building. And it was a little bit like black ops, because there's other buildings down here you could fit this in, and we were afraid someone would steal our ideas, so we wouldn't tell anybody what we're going to do with the building for the longest time. About that time, you started hearing the grumblings of the COVID epidemic in China, because this is near the end of 19 going into 2020. So we just had to kind of hold fast and wait for the COVID epidemic to kind of ease up. And that happened, thank goodness. And so we started construction April of 22. So it's been a long road. Once we got in here and started doing construction. It wasn't long that we were ready to open. We basically had to gut all the infrastructure, the plumbing, the electrical. Of course, they never had internet before, so we had to, of course, wire it. But even the front, the facade, the roof was in good shape, so we didn't have anything to do with the roof. And the bones are good. You could put a parking garage on top of this building. It's such a unique building because of that steel, that structural work, but also Beaver Creek runs through the building, under the building. So we're built on a culvert. So Beaver Creek enters our front door and exits out the back of our building. We do have a nice, that's right where the party room's at. We have some windows. You can look right out Beaver Creek and see our wildlife.
A blue heron comes all the time and hangs out, and a couple river otters come floating through there. So you get to see all kinds of action.
So we got a full kitchen, full menu. So it's not bar food, but it's not, J. Frank's gourmet either. I mean, it's a nice balance. If you went home and wanted a snack or something to eat, it'd be the kind of food that you would prepare at home. So we got ribs, fish and chips, chicken. We have a really neat 10-pin platter, and we developed a little stand where they're full-size chicken legs, and we hang them in an arrangement that make them look like the duck pins. So they're arranged like pins. And if you don't want to eat 10 of them, we also have a 3-7-10 split. So if you just want 3. So that's one of our signature items. It's real fun. You have vintage pinball and arcade games, along with the more modern, I hate to say modern, but the redemption games that you would see at like a Chuck E. Cheese or other place where the kids can trade in their credits for a prize at the end of the night. So it's a blend of old and new. Some people may have experienced bowling before, but this is a new kind of experience. I really can't say it enough that it's an easier game for the children and for our older friends. We had a grandmother come in last week, and she said, "I can't bowl. I just can't do it." I said, "Put her on a lane, put her name up there, and let her bowl." And I was actually able to catch up with her on the way out. And I said, "Would you be able to bowl?" She said, "Yeah, I can do that bowling." I said, "I knew you could." So it was really exciting to see those people that don't know if they can do it or not, because they're used to those 14, 12, 10-pound balls. And it is hard on a person if you're not used to that. So I do think that it's a good product.
And we have a party room downstairs that hold about 50 people. You can reserve it, and you have this mezzanine up here. You can also reserve this as well. You can rent the bowling alleys for an hour. You can it's perfect. You can either bowl first and then party, or party first and then bowl. I've been making popcorn since I was 10 years old, and so now I get to bring it here. This is a small bag of Tennessee checkerboard cheese, and so this is a white cheddar with extra toasted cheese that's in it. And so that's just one of my flavors. I have about 40 or 50 flavors that I will be selling through this establishment. So that's kind of exciting for me. Because I've kind of wanted to get it out there, and this is kind of a big way of doing it. From Monday through Thursday, we're open from 3 o'clock until 10. On Friday and Saturdays, we're open from 10 until 1. And then Sunday, we're open from 10 o'clock till 10 o'clock that night. So we're open every day. So hopefully you can come by and catch us one time. So
it can be an experience all to itself because of all the things that we have to offer, between the food, the games, the bowling. The real business case is it's part of the downtown experience. It's that one activity that I feel like was missing from downtown. We've got a lot of places, a lot of great places to eat. a lot of great places with live music. This is a perfect way of rounding that evening out with an activity, a group activity, a social activity. You're not on your phone, you're not checking emails, you're gathered together, whether you're competing or not, it doesn't matter. But I think that's the one thing, the one piece. So we look at it as a complimentary experience or activity for the downtown in general, because we love the downtown. It's a great vibe. Again, the other business owners down here have been nothing but welcoming. It sounds really cliche, but there is a community down here that we're lucky enough to be part of now because we've invested in downtown. And I think it's well worth investing in the downtown. So that's really the main key, is come down. You can eat somewhere else if you want to. You can go listen to live music, but this would be a great place to end your night or begin your night and have a little bit of a different type of fun.